Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ken and I'm coming live from our village in East Africa, Kenya, and let me just invite you all to the channel. For the returning subscribers as well as for the new viewers, you're so welcomed. Today is very cloudy because we are in the long rain. This period we usually experience long rains. And you know, my cousin from my mom's side came, I think around last year, yeah. And he was always telling me that our weather in our place is kind of funny because it might be sunny in the morning and by midday it's raining. And you know, by the time it was, I think the temperatures were moderate. It wasn't sunny, neither was it raining. So I wonder what you can say now, since we are in the rainy season. It's around midday, but there's no sun. It's just cloudy with dark clouds, and that's a sign of rain. Those are signs of rain. Yeah. So today I just wanna update you on something that we did, I think some 3-4 weeks ago, because we are in the rainy season. At our place we usually experience a lot of termites. Yes, because you know termites love wet conditions, wet soil, especially if it's clay. And you know our place, when it rains, it usually retains a lot of water. That's why whenever it rains, even if it rains for like 2 days, the grass can be green. Like now you see the way it's green, the grass can be green, I mean, for like 4 days or even a week. And you know, if termites are around, we've been having challenges with them because of our wooden structures and also some of our old structures, like these houses you are seeing. You see these smaller houses, they are for my uncles when they were around my age, and they had to move out of their father's house, so they had to build their own. Yeah, so this one, I think I've already mentioned, this one was for this uncle of mine, and the other uncles that are on the other side, theirs were there. Like you see, that one is for my dad. Where we've built, we had another one for my uncle. The house, I think his house is just it's only the fence separating, because we live together. My grandfather had already divided them places where they had to build, so all of us are living in the same piece of land. So our land is mainly separated by a road. The one on the downer side is where the farms are. This one is the residential part. So you know, these smaller houses being very old, I think they are the oldest houses in the compound, because even my grandfather, the one that they were staying by then, they had already demolished it. That's why they built that one. So that one isn't that really old, because that one was built when they were already grown-ups. Yeah, so these ones are usually affected by termites, but I think we had already solved the issue. We used the termitop. I know there are so many varieties of chemicals maybe you can use, but for us we used termitop. And yeah, maybe in the future we'll clear them, we'll demolish them, so that we can create more space in the compound, because once maybe I'm planning to renovate. I won't really renovate it that much for start. Maybe I'll paint the house. This uncle of mine, you know, he was staying in this one. So this one, the bluish one, I'm usually colorblind, so this one I'm pointing was the first Simba. It's usually called the Simba, the first hut. So usually the boys were sleeping in that house. That includes my dad and the rest of his brothers. So that was the house that they were sleeping on, and that house was meant for the firstborn. But you know, since the firstborn can't really sleep alone, and maybe he has some brothers, they thought they was just sleeping there. But once we renovate this house, because I'm planning to after we finished, by the time we'll be painting ours, I'll try to paint it. Then maybe later, after some few maybe months, not really many months, I'll try to put on running water and make the septic flow. So once I'll do that, the house will be very in a good condition, because now will be anyone can bathe inside the house. Anyone can use the sink maybe for washing, especially the ones in the kitchen, yeah, and such things. So once we do that with the house, I'll demolish these ones so that we can have enough space, because you know, sometimes when we have more visitors now, we usually use them. It's just a matter of just cleaning and cleaning inside only, and people might use it. But for now, since this house is a 3-bedroom house, so if you have many visitors, we can't really accommodate them. It has a garage which maybe we can put 2 or 3 beds. The garage is sizable, spacious, I mean. So I think by that time I'll be in a very better place to remove them. And also maybe, yeah, because we want the compound to be very spacious, and because you know, they are symbols of you know, if you stay somewhere with your family, because I'm the grandson, my grandma's like a great grandson. So if the generation is that long and you guys stay in one place, they usually history in that place. So whenever those houses are there because of certain histories, yeah, but they are really old. Maybe time will tell, maybe we won't really demolish them, we'll just leave them there just for history. Yeah, yes. But also I want to take advantage of this rain, and you know, this grass in this compound is usually, it's during the dry season. During the dry season, sun really, well, how should I say it, it doesn't it's not resistant to sun that much. So I'll try and plant we have certain type of grass in the compound, the one with the edges are serrated, whitish. So those ones I won't really plant them like my mom. You know, my mom usually plant it, she clears the whole place, then plant grass. But for me, I'll just dig a hole on the ground, plant that grass. So I'll just plant them in heap like that, heap in the compound, so that because I don't have that time to dig them up. So I want the grass to mutually, I want them to, how do I say this, to grow together. I want them to coexist. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. I want that grass to coexist with this one, because our cattle love this one. So if there are 2 grasses in one compound and they are coexisting together and they are growing together, that's nice. Because the one that I'm planning to plant is it's resistant to sun, a lot of sun. You see, like this one. See how this one is some parts it's has already dried. You see, like this one was because of the dry season. Yeah, and you look at, if you see, these are termites. These are termites. You see this soil, these are termites, those holes, termites and ants. Yeah, so that's why I want to plant the grass, so that if they coexist together, the compound will be very nice, very nice. So maybe what we'll do maybe is to just maintain the grass. Usually people use is it lawn mower or lawn mowing, something like that. So I think the compound is also spacious. It can't take more than 2 days, maybe a day or 2 at most. Yeah, and also let me just update you on the progress, because I've said in the past 3-4 weeks ago we disinfected our frames, our door frames, our inner door frames with the tummy tops, because by then it was a little bit, it was very sunny. It was the dry season, but we were still experiencing termites. So I wonder now, maybe if we didn't use the tummy top to disinfect our door frames, because you know the termites come from the ground. So you might build a house like this and think that maybe termites can't really get in, but they get under below, because you know we haven't, even if you do the slab, they still. So let's check and see the progress, or if our efforts are really paying, because that's usually a very big issue. You can really spend a lot of time building, and if you don't take precautions, then you might end up redoing whatever you had already done. So these are the door frames that I'm talking about, the inner door frames. Yes. So we used to dig before we even placed it. We dug, then pour tummy top below, then also after pouring, immediately we place the cement. So if the termites try to come in under, they'll find out for themselves. Yeah. Yeah, so these are the door frames. They're really in good conditions. We placed them, like, I think not more than 4 weeks ago, and there were 8 doors total, because also with the design of the house, it can allow you to place I think 10 doors. Yeah, 10 doors. But for us, we wanted the house to be spacious, so we just placed 8 doors. So we left this part, you know, when the design came, the design of the house, the plan of the house, this part was the lobby, this part, because the bathrooms were here. So this part was the lobby. So it was very wide, and you could place a door, but now for us, we just wanted it to be free, like someone will even pass, or maybe if you are having kids and they are running in the house, they would really run freely inside, because if you place a door here, and also there are these doors, and let's say, because of these doors, now you place a door there, it won't really be spacious. So maybe, let's say, if kids are running in the house, they are running free, because that space doesn't have any door. So that was the intention, just for the house to be very spacious, because if the house is spacious, there's less incidences, maybe someone falling. Maybe the only place that really can really make someone to fall, now we haven't yet made it. After we've made it, it's gonna make sense. Now it can't really make sense, but it's the living room. We are using a sunken, so we are using a sunken living room now. It's a little bit deeper. Let me just move outside because of the light. Yeah, so our living room is a little bit sunken below, because we wanted to lower it so that we can have more options on how to raise it up, because if we could have, maybe it's not really that deep, it's like 2 courses deep. So our plan is to put the slab until it only has 1 course deep. Yeah, so it's only 1 step, so 1 step, then the floor. So I doubt if that one will make any incidences in the house, because you know people usually have sunken living rooms, and they're usually nice. But there's also one precaution. If you want a sunken living room, observe where you are building. If it's a place where there's too much clogging of water, that means if you put a very low living room, the water will start seeping up. So you might take many precautions. We have dam coast, we have different varieties of dam coast, and I think they differ with areas. So as we use just the normal one, actually use two different types. Let me just show you. So there's this one that looks like a blanket. It's very thick, and if you look at it, it's like pieces of sand, tar, so it's really thick. And also we used, the other one was like a polythene paper, just the normal black one. And also at Nasto's place, I saw her because her sister is also currently building, and for them they were using the black one, the black polythene one, but it's double. So I think for now I know 3 types of dam coast. So if you're using a sunken living room in a waterlogged area, be cautious of the walls, because if the floor is too low and maybe you take a lot of precautions on the floor, the water might start seeping through the wall and destroying paint and so many other things. It might end up even destroying the doors because of the moist, is it moist? Yeah, of the wetness, yeah, of the ground. So sunken living rooms are usually nice, but just take precautions, because if you use a sunken living room, it will make your ceiling boards high, and that one will give you enough room. If you're putting a chandelier, you can put a very long one or even a short one, but at least it gives you an option of putting a longer one, because people like those longer chandeliers. They are usually very nice, they have very nice designs. So just take precautions. For us, I think our sunken living room, we only did the walls very well, so it's only the floor. When we'll be making, I think I'll explain more about the sunken living room, but it's nice. I really love sunken living room. And I think one of our last is it transformation or making, or because still we are in the rainy season, and for us to take advantage of the rain and harvest more water, we placed our gutters and our tank, so it runs come down here, and the water is here. So we have water, guys, and we have, I think the water is still down below, because we are using it. The rains are long, but it's not that rains with thunder. It's just that type of rains that rains for like it almost like rushes of rain, because even yesterday it rained for like less than 20 minutes. Then the whole day was just cloudy, there wasn't any sun, so it's just those types of rain. So that's why you see our tank isn't full, but at least we have water, which was the main goal. So maybe in future, I saw my dad, because I was working I was just walking in the house, then I saw a piece of paper. Then what caught my eye was I saw gutter. So it was just something that was written. So I think they were estimating the cost of putting a whole gutter on the house. So I intervened, because I thought that they wanted to put gutters. So I just asked him, but he told me that he was just estimating the cost, because if you put more gutters, it means you have to look for 2 tanks. and probably bigger ones, because the tank that we placed some days, I think last week, is 5,000 liters. So if we were to add more gutters, we should probably put bigger tanks, maybe two bigger tanks, probably 10,000 liters and above, which is very costly. And you know, for now we want to do plastering. The water that it's actually drizzling. It's actually drizzling. See how the sky looks. Yeah, so for now we are just planning to do plastering, do the sunken living room and see how it looks like. We have some pipes that we placed on the wall. We are supposed to buy electrical cables, because once we do plastering, all those should be on the wall. Yeah, so there's no need of buying more gutters or tanks, because either way we still have water. And also, let me just show you one more thing, because if you look at our compound, sorry, we have a lot of jacaranda trees. We have 2 avocado trees. Then we have these flowers. One is there. Poetry, yes. Poetry. Poetry, yeah. So it's not poetry, poetry, if I'm spelling it right. So we have a lot of jacaranda trees, simply because the jacaranda trees, they don't make the grass to dry. That's why we have a lot of them. And we have 2 types of jacaranda tree. We have this one, and the normal one, this one. I think this one, a lot of people know it, but this one is the best. This one is the best jacaranda tree. It doesn't shed even if it sheds, you can rarely notice. But this one, it has these blue flowers. Look at this one. It has these blue flowers that when it sheds, it's usually in the compound. But the good side of it, it really grows big. So the only thing that you have to do is just to clean, which is usually not bad, because you have to clean your compound. So because of that, I planted one more jacaranda tree. For this, I'm waiting for the seeds. This one, it's producing some flowers, not really yellow flowers, but once it produces those, my dad told me that for the seeds to grow, you have to heat it first, because the seeds are usually in form of a sack. So you have to heat it with fire, then it will burst. Then you sun dry it, then you plant it. So that's what I'm waiting for, and I'm waiting to document it and see if it works. But for now, I planted this jacaranda tree. I even fenced it because of the cattle in the compound. And yeah, maybe in some few years, see how it is. Maybe in some few years it will be so big, like these ones. So guys, it's drizzling. It's even raining, not even drizzling. I think that's really cool. It's around midday. I really like rain, because you know, I'm an aspiring farmer. Maybe in the next few years I'll be a very, very good farmer. I think also time will tell with that. But I think the rains are really nice. We are gonna continue with the video once it stops or reduces.